In the last module, we learned how to actually uh, do the create a project and create a client. And now that you have a project and client, the next step is always estimating. So as you can see, we can see it here. It's estimating and budget. We click on estimating and budget. There's estimate, budget change request, and past cost. So I'm going to start with estimate here. You click on estimate, it allows you here, you can see all the other estimates that were completed. You can delete them or view them. You can see their actual state, they're new, they're approved, etc. And so basically, as an estimate manager, you can see all the different estimates you're actually reviewing with your team and what stage they're in. And now we can add an estimate. We're going to choose our project, which is demo, remember, and then we're going to create here the estimate name. I'm going to say it video uh, number 5. Approver is myself, and here as the approver, it's part of the roles that decides who the approval is. And in every project, when you're estimating it, all the initial documentation should be preserved and should be intact. The reason why is because these are the basis of the estimate, and these are the ones that were used to establish specific cost. And if it changes, you're able to go back to the original document that were received. And here it's as easy as dragging and dropping from any file folder that you want, or you can click on browse, and then you can just take any file here. Let's say this financial file, click open, it's uploaded, and then you have it. You can put all the files that you received for the request for bid, and then you just click create. Once you click on create here, you have the estimate, which is already at 0 right now, and you have the sell estimate, which is how much you're going to be bidding for the client. At this point, we're gonna have three options. You have update cumulative margin, which doesn't make sense. Add activity makes sense. Submit for approval, we're not there yet. So we're gonna add an activity. The activity by itself is like a field installation work package or a specific package within the project. So I'm gonna call it here infrastructure. And then we're gonna put the description infrastructure for the work to be done. So then I click on create. Right here, I have now a specific activity under which I can create sub-activities which are cost code based. And here's where the cost code that we created earlier will come in it. So you have two options here. You have add an activity item, which we're gonna go and do, where you can choose all the cost codes that you want. So let's say piping or pipe. So here you have pipe materials, you have cut pipe, you have all those cost codes that have pipe in it. So I'm gonna show you something here. There is a, a, a very good feature within uh, IMAPs. So I'm gonna show you, let's say, pipe piles, materials, or pipe piles in general. I click on that. You have 13 past costs. So if I click on that here, these are actual projects that were completed by the company and with all the data required as past costs. So you can see the actual cost overrun. You can see all the specific data on it. So actual man hour per each pile that were done, actual dollar overall cost per unit, so $114 per linear meter of pile, etc. So that's a great way of actually combining your past costs into a very easy way to fish it in the future. That's one of the most intelligent and one of the intelligent items of IMAPs that we have here right now. So once you have that information, you just have to put, let's say, 10 piles or 20 piles, 200 piles, and it's 2 man hour per pile, and it's $65 per man hour. You get the labor cost plus the subcontractor cost for the equipment, let's say, is $55,000. And then now you can put basis of the estimate is on past cost and on quote from subcontractor. And over here you can click on create. So the activity has been created. And the beauty in that is, remember we wrote the note that this is based on a subcontractor. You can also upload into that cost code the estimate that was provided by the subcontractor for future reference. And you have it here for forever basically. So you can also import activities from other projects. So you can choose another project which is similar to it, and you can use the same data and then import all or import specific cost codes. And the activities and the cost codes that are imported here, the only thing you will have to change is the quantities, which by clicking on the edit button and put here 20, and I can click update, and I can edit here, put another 20, let's say. But here this is a contingency, so I'm going to put a contingency of $10,000. Put the note based on risk matrix, which I can attach, and I click on update. So as you can see, this is how we're able to create an estimate. At this point, you can add new activity by adding here new activity, or you can submit for approval. So I'm going to click submit for approval to show you what happens here. It tells you cannot submit for approval because you need to have a margin to be able to submit it for approval. So let's see in the margin, you have by cost type, by discipline, by cost type. So you're able to change the percentages based on the cost type or based on the discipline and cost type. We're going to go to discipline and cost type. Now it took all the disciplines you've estimated it and gave you percentage profit, margin, overhead, and overall global margin here to put it. So we're going to put 10% and 2%, let's say margin. On subcontractor, we're going to say 8% and 8%. On the other layer, we're going to say 10% and 8% and 10%. Actually, usually I don't put any percentages on a contingency. And then I'm going to put an overall 5% risked margin. So I can complete and save it. And then after I save it, I can see that my actual cost is going to be $97,000. I'm going to sell it for $115,000 with a profit of $17,000, which is the cumulative margin, or the difference between your cost and your your actual sell price. So now I can submit for approval, and it's submitted for approval. And you can see here, since I'm the approver as well, I have an approval number one, which is an identification, and I also have an email that I receive it. So I click on it and I see estimate approval. I click on that and I have the estimate coming here for me to review it. Click on the view. I can see the estimate with all the information. I can also check every cost code by itself. I can see all the details of every single cost code. Let's say the first cost code that we've done. I can also see the financial as an approval. I can click on that and see everything. I also can see estimate reports. So I click on review estimate reports, and then I can choose an estimate. Let's say comparative estimate report. And I'm gonna choose the project, which is the demo movie project that we just done. It's pending approval, and I can generate the report, which gets downloaded. It's right here. I click on it, and you can see I have the report in Excel sheet that shows me all the information I need, and you have the formulas in it as well, as you can see here. So now that I have seen that, readjust the screen, can go back to my estimate review, go into my estimate, and I can click approve, put a comment, good job, or if I say this approve, I can put my comments why. Click approve, and the project has been approved, and the estimate is right now approved. We can submit it accordingly. Thank you.